Kind. You got a dog speed and a 389. Moving up now. We're wine. Button up, blow it out, GTO.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to Motor Slingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
All right, as promised, let's get to Ben in Vegas. He's been waiting a long time. Appreciate that. Ben, what can we do for you, sir?
Welcome, Ben.
Thanks, guys. Hey, I have a question. I picked up some ammunition at a Bass Pro Shop, and nobody could tell me anything about it. And so I decided to buy some and take it home and research it and see what I could find out about it. But I can't find anything. It's called 21 Sharp, SAARP. Have you ever heard of it, or do you know anything about it?
I don't. I know lots of Winchester calibers. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
What repeat that one more time.
He said Winchester 21 Sharp.
Sharp.
Yeah, it's Winchester, and it's got it's a rimfire, and it's got a shell like a 22 long rifle, but it's got a long conical hollow point bullet that seems to be smaller diameter than 22 long rifle.
Yeah, they are
and
new.
I have.
They're new?
They're new. It's a new rimfire cartridge designed to offer improved performance over the 22 long rifle, particularly in terms of accuracy and lead-free projectile options.
And you knew that, didn't you?
Oh, off the top of my head.
That's straight off of Google.
Do they pay you for that?
They better.
They ought to. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, so apparently that's a brand new round. No wonder I haven't heard of it because, in California we're so limited as to what we can get here new.
I would think this bullet would tumble, though. I'd have to check into it before I can really give you an educated answer. I don't see why tumbling would make.
What's tumbling?
Literally,
Yeah.
it comes out like a football, and then after a while, it would start to.
Some of the
do
things that they're actually already saying about them, they have a higher velocity, so that'll cut down on the tumbling, and they're a flat shooter, so they're flatter than the 22 LR.
And usually, tumbling comes when your barrel is worn out, and it will tend to make the bullet want to bounce going down the bullet because it's not really sealing anymore. So as it goes out, it's going to start to tumble. You don't see that too often anymore. Old days with with black powder and old lead and stuff, it was a different story. But not today's world, you don't see tumbling too much anymore.
I learn something every day.
Yeah. So
The box, muzzle velocity 1,500, and at 50 yards it's 1287. 100 yards 1121. So that's pretty high velocity.
That's high velocity, and it's probably fairly light. So sounds like an interesting round. I will check into it and give me a couple of weeks. Call us back, and I'll let you know what I found out.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Take care now.
Yeah, they're saying that the price-wise, it's trying to be competitive with the regular 22 LR. So, maybe they're trying to change the game.
All right. Okay, now we have somebody who's upset with me because of the Chad Bianco versus Steve Hilton. He's a Steve Hilton fan. So as long as he behaves and be nice, we'll let him on. How are you, Scott?
Evening, Scott.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. What's going on?
What can we do for you?
Yeah, I think he disparaged him just because he has a British accent. The man's a U.S. citizen. He's on many shows on the Salem News Network. And I just wish you would do your homework before you criticize a fellow conservative.
Yeah, Jeff, do your
I
homework.
believe he is the best person to regain the governorship of California.
Well, fair enough. I don't per se, but that's okay. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. You have yours. I have mine. I did not look into him. I've actually met him because
I've met him a few times.
Yeah, he's been to several KRLA. What do they call them? The
town halls.
Town halls. So I've actually met him in person a few times, and I just like Chad Bianco much better. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Fair enough.
I appreciate your call though, and take care. And you know what? I will take him over anybody that's got a D at the end of their name. So don't get me wrong. I just would rather see Chad than Steve. All righty.
Okay. Well, the last thing I would like to say is we have to unite behind one person.
Agreed. And whichever one comes out at the top, I will be 1,000% behind.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, doke.
Thank you.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Now.
Sorry.
And they've spoken about each other too. That if either one takes the lead on this, they're going to back the other one as they should. So
Hey, you know what? If he ends up taking it over from Chad, I will try and get him on the show, regardless of what Salem says.
And picking on his British accent, we don't pick on Leon with his New York accent.
Oh, forget about it. What are you kidding me over here? All right, hey, you know what? We got a couple of lines open now, Leon. What's that number?
That number is 866-870-5752.
All right.
Again, 866-870-5752.
We have a friend out in Covina, Sean, that calls in now and again. He wants to talk to you about a B-25. Sean, how are you?
evening, Sean.
I'm a little under the weather, but listening to all five of you is making me feel much better.
Love to
Thank
hear
you
it.
kindly.
Love to hear it.
And I would like to salute the five amigos of the Motor Slingers. And Jeff, did you have a birthday soon? A little while ago?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Well, happy upcoming birthday,
Thank you,
Jeff.
sir.
I wish you get another car and another
No,
you don't need.
not until I finish the ones I got. I got to kind of, my mechanic, my mechanic, Vinny Boom Bots over here,
He's up to his neck.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, what can we do for you tonight, Sean?
Anyway, I have a question for George. And last time I asked you a question, and you just knocked it out of the ballpark with the story about the flying with the co-pilot to Doolittle. Now, I would like for you to share some of the valor of the Doolittle team. I know a lot of them. If you knew any of their stories of how they escaped in China, and if you know the story about the one plane that flew to the Soviet Union and how they got out, and if you could also maybe tell about why the twin boom makes the B-25 easier to fly.
Well, the B-25 actually has got a single tail and with two verticals on it, which is just a design technique. It a little bit more control with less surface area than one single rudder. So that's the advantage of the two vertical stabilizers on the B-25. As far as all the other things go, we could talk all night about the Doolittle raid and all the various stories of the 16 crews that survived. Briefly, though, the one airplane that diverted and went to Russia instead of went to China, the crew was held as basically prisoners of war in Russia for quite a while. Then they managed to get to a less controlled area, and they finally got smuggled into Iraq, and then from Iraq they got back to the West. Did that answer that question, Sean?
Oh, yes, that answers it very well. And excuse me about saying booms. I'm not sure that you said a twin vertical stabilizer. And I noticed that after the war, they got rid of the B-26, but they kept the B-25 for a long time, and even the Soviet Union kept it to the late 50s. So that's very remarkable.
Yeah, the reason was it's the B-25 is a little bit easier to fly than the B-26, and they kept it in the service till in the 1960s. They finally stopped using them as a bomber trainer, which became a TB-25, and that's why there's so many now still flying around in the museums and air shows.
Oh, okay. If we have time, I'd like to ask Leon a question.
Go ahead, real quick.
I have a friend, he's dearly afraid of flying, and he's got a large problem with flying. I wonder if you could help him with it. I know if you would talk to him and maybe put him in your airplane, he would be alleviated of that fear of flying. Now, Jeff, I want you to look into Leon's eyes. He is going to alleviate you of your fear of flying. Look into his eyes. Leon will
Forget
not
about it.
I don't have a fear of flying.
No, I do. Both of these, Sean,
This is a setup.
both of these guys have offered to take me up in the air, and I told them both very politely, hell no.
As politely as you could.
But I told him it's not. That's pretty normal for a lot of people. But I think George could take him up, or I, and I think the fear would go completely away.
Yeah.
First thing we'd do, you're flying. Put you on the controls, and you'd be so busy enjoying what you're doing that the fear would go away. Then you'd come back, wow, I really.
You know what? I could go up in your airplane, and I don't think I'd have a problem. Where my problem is with commercial flying, because to me, you're just a cow in the back of a cattle prod thing, and you just sit there, and you got no idea what was that. Who, nobody's going to come tell you, oh, that was just turbulence. Da, 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 da. And the very first time I ever flew, I'm 16 years old. I'm in Seattle, and I'm coming back down to California on the red eye, 2 a.m. I get on. I watched the Twilight Zone. Get on this airplane. There's 3 people, including me, on this airplane. Right, and I have no idea what to expect. I just figured, well, you're here and you're just there. I wasn't expecting the takeoff. That thing pushed me back in my chair. I'm like, I didn't know anything of what was going to happen. Nobody briefed me, and I'm 16 years old and alone at 2 a.m. after I watched it. I mean, everything was set up to be wrong, and that was my first flight ever. And I said,
So you don't fly anymore?
I haven't flown. When I left the band, that was part of the reason I left the band, because we would fly all over the place all the time, and I couldn't take it anymore.
No, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I had really long hair back then. It was coming out in droves, and I've heard of male pattern baldness, but not from everywhere.
What kind of pattern is this?
Yeah, it was a pattern of everywhere, and so I just said, that's it. We went to Anchorage for the Alaska State Fair for a week, and when we got back, I said, guys, if we don't drive, I ain't going. And that was how I spent.
Since.
Not since 1990.
Wow.
Yeah, August of 1990. I actually still remember the date. Anyway, guys, you're listening to Motor Slingers right here on
The Gunslinger
quick.
Syndicated
Real quick.
Radio Network.
Quick, Sean,
Real
quick.
quick. Leon,
Yes.
Lance, George, and Jimmy, jump Jeff, tie him up, and we'll put him in a plane tomorrow.
Goodbye, Sean. We'll be right back, guys.
Yep.